Hola, bienvenidos once again to Tina's Spanish Cafe, where, as some of you know by now, we have a little bit of conversation, always some cafecito, and most importantly, this is a place where we learn some Spanish. Today's lesson is, are you ready? Indirect Object Pronouns. That's a long word and title for something that is pretty easy. Once you learn the direct object and the direct object pronouns, the indirect object pronouns and the indirect object is a piece of cake. Sip a cafecito first. What the indirect object does is it tells you for whom and to whom the action is being done. And to tell you the truth, the best tip that I ever got as to how to identify the indirect object is this. I'm going to pass it on to you because it was given to me. The indirect object tells you where the direct object is going. For instance, in the sentence, Mamá lee el libro a María, Mom reads Mary the book, or Mom reads the book to Mary. The book is the direct object, right? Because it receives the direct action of read. Mom reads the book. Now, where is the book going, the action of reading going? To Mary. Mary is the indirect object. So, now we're going to learn the indirect object pronouns. Remember, the job of the pronouns is to replace the nouns, to make a sentence more natural and shorter. So we're going to replace the indirect object with the indirect object pronouns. First, we're going to do the singular forms in Spanish. And thank heavens, the first two, the first person singular and the second person singular in Spanish are the same as the direct object pronouns. Me and te. Remember that? Me. So let's start with the sentence. Mamá compra una computadora a mí. Mom buys a computadora, a computer. Una computadora, I need my marker. Una computadora is the direct object. Mom buys what? Una computadora. Where is this computadora going? Because that's what the indirect object tells you. Well, it's going where? It's going a mí. Mamá me compra una computadora. The me replaces a mí. Mamá me compra una computadora. Second sentence. José, I like that name, huh? José escribe un poema a mí. José writes a poem to me, a mí. Of course, un poema is the direct object because it receives the action of escribe. Where is this poem going? For whom is he writing this poem? Me. So, José me escribe un poema. Again, the indirect objects are placed before the conjugated verbs, just like you did with the direct object pronouns. The indirect object pronouns, I'm saying. A third sentence. José canta una canción. I only need one una here. José canta una canción a mí. José sings a song. That's a direct object, a song. A mí, to me. Now, to whom is José singing the song? A mí, me. where is the song going? It's going to me. So now, this, a mí, is the indirect object. The indirect object pronoun is me. José me canta una canción. That was easy, huh? Let's move over to te. For the second person singular, the indirect object pronoun in Spanish is te. I'm using the same examples here that I used with me. The first sentence, mamá compra una computadora a ti. The direct object here is una computadora. And for whom is that computadora? Where is that direct object going? A ti. It's for you. A ti. So, the indirect object pronoun, te, is placed before the conjugated verb. It's replacing you. A ti. Mamá te compra una computadora. See that? Let's do the next example, which is the same as what we did before. José escribe, he writes, un poema, a poem, a ti. José writes what? He writes a poem. So poema is the direct object. And where is this poem going? You're lucky. It's going to you, a ti. José te escribe un poema. José te escribe un poema. Last one. José canta una canción a ti. I made all these, or some of these sentences kind of romantic, right? José sings a song for you, to you. So, canción, una canción is the direct object. For whom is the action of singing being done? For you. Where is the song going? It's going to you. So this is the indirect object. And this is what the indirect object pronoun is going to replace. José te canta una canción. Now I know some of you are saying, oh my gosh, what is that a mí and a ti that I wrote in here? Don't panic, it's simple. When there is a preposition before the first and second person singular pronouns, instead of yo, you say a mí, not a yo. Instead of tú, you say a ti. You don't say a tú. Most of the time, when there is a preposition just before the first and second person singular pronouns, the yo becomes me, M-I, huh? And the tú becomes ti. Okay? Let's move on to the third person singular pronoun, indirect object pronoun. And that is le. Le. Le means for who, for him, for her, or for usted, you, formal. And just remember, wherever you find he and she, him and her, you will find usted also. The same endings in the verbs for he and she go to usted. That's why they're always grouped together. The first sentence, and I just stayed with the same examples. Mamá compra una computadora. Okay, where is that computadora is going? Well, it could go to José or to him. He buys a computadora a José. A José then can be replaced with le. José, mamá, should be mamá because mamá is doing the buying here. Mamá le compra una computadora. Mom buys him a computer. Well, she could be buying a computer for Maria. Where is the computer going? To her. Mama buys her a computer. Mamá le compra una computadora. Or maybe she's buying a computer for you. Usted, Mr. Smith, my mother is buying a computer for you, sir. So, mamá, I wish I could make this mamá more. There we go. There you go. Mamá le compra una computadora. So, le, third person singular. Whether it's him, whether it's her, or usted, which is second person singular, but remember the usted form always follows the pattern, the verb endings for él y ella, he and she, him and her. I have another example, I have two more actually. José escribe un poema, same as the other one. José writes a poem. Where is the poem, which is the direct object, where is it going? For whom is he writing a poem? Well, he's writing a poem for Rose, a Rosa. José le escribe un poema. Isn't that nice? Or maybe he's writing it for Papa, for his dad, for him. José le escribe un poema a Papa. Or maybe it's for you. José le escribe un poema. Do you see that? Le, for him, for her, or for you, sir or ma'am. The third example, José canta una canción a mamá, a papá, or a usted. I put papá and mamá so that you can relate to him and her as well as usted. So for all these examples, you say José in Spanish, le canta una canción. The singular indirect object pronouns, once again, are me, te, and le. They are placed before the conjugated verb, and they replace the indirect object, which tells us for whom or to whom an action is being performed. Now we're going to move on to the plural forms of the indirect object pronouns.